Well, hey everybody, it's Romania Black, and I'm not gonna lie, it's been a while since I've watched Natsume's Book of Friends. I got to episode of 44, which was essentially about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks, and I was getting ahead in my Natsume reactions, and I was getting behind in some other shows, so I was like, well, I'm pretty far ahead, and last week felt like a very standalone episode, like it wasn't a continuation or something that left you on a cliffhanger or something like that, so I'm like, well, I'll just stop right here, I'll catch up on my other shows, and then I'll dive back into Natsume, and that's kind of where I am now, but good thing too, because we got a two-parter. Actually, we have it within the next month, 3 two-parters. Season 4 is just gonna fly by. Just bye season 4. Hope you had fun with it, but it's gone. We have a two-parter this week. Then next week we have just a standalone episode. Then we have two-parters back to back, and then the season finale. What? That's a lot of Natsume coming up, y'all. It's a lot of Natsume coming up. So, I've been gearing myself up for these episodes, and I think I'm ready now. I think I'm ready. But yeah, what a wild ride we're in for with the rest of season 4. I've loved season 4. Season 4 so far, I feel like seasons 1 through 3 established Natsume as a character. They showed growth in him as a character. I feel like seasons 1 through 3 were kind of like an act 1 of the series. And I don't know how many seasons there will be of Natsume, but seasons 1 through 3 kind of felt like that introduction where you just got to know Natsume, figure out what his deal is with the yokai and with humans. And now season 4 is starting the second phase of our interaction with Natsume, that now we're kind of interacting with him and the yokai and seeing like all of these different angles and all these different relationships. It just feels richer, I guess is the word for it. Richer? Yeah, I think that that's the way to describe it, but I'm loving it. It's been so good so far. You all are watching season 7 as you're tuning back into this, so I envy you, but I know that I'm going to get there eventually, so... And if we go with the route we're going with all these two-parters, it will happen this coming year, so... I have no doubt. I think we'll get to season 7 by the end of 2025, probably, which is crazy that I'll have been spending like nearly 2 years watching Natsume, which is just mind-blowing, but we'll cross those bridges when we get there, right? But anyway, I don't have any comments going into this episode. The comments I've read so far have been really, really good, but there hasn't been anything that I haven't talked about in additional episodes yet, but that may change. So keep them comments coming because I love reading them, as long as they're not spoilers. And thank you so much for watching me with this series. I know being 4 seasons into a show is a lot of commitment for a viewer to be like, I'm going to watch this reactor go through 7 seasons of a show. So it means a lot that you've taken the time to support me in watching this series, so that means a lot. But speaking of support, I want to give a real quick shout out over to Patreon, to our philanthropy tier, to thank them all for their support, as well as to thank you all on YouTube that have subscribed and those on Patreon as well. So special thanks to Alex Cornejo, to Anime Annie, to Bryant Reed, to Be Happy, to Dana, to Damage3245, to Destiny Marie, to Danger Zone, to Danny Don Mai, Devorin, Eric Ichu, Fisho, Ghostly Turnip, as well as El Freya, Liam Poles, Lyndon, Matthew Palfinier, Murphy, Nicholas, Nago, Sunspots, Shimoyama, Trails, Translucent Men, Starman AA, as well as Maroni W. Thank you all so much for your support. I really appreciate it. All of my love. So anyway, we got this 2-parter. I've pulled up each episode side by side. What I'm probably going to do is watch episode 6 of season 4, and then we'll do episode 7 right after that, which is episodes 44 and 46. Crazy that we've spent this much time with Natsume, and we still got so much time to go. I'm really excited about it, though. I can't wait. So we're not going to waste any more time. I've talked for nearly 5 minutes. We're going to start episode 6 and 7 of Natsume's Book of Friends season 4. And we're going to do that here in 3, 2, 1. And let's go. When I tell you that opening beat sounds like the start of a Brooks and Dunn song from the 90s, I tell you, it sounds like the start. I feel like I saw the light. I've been baptized. I'm a brand new man. That's what this is. It's the melody of Brand New Man by Brooks and Dunn. Which, honestly, Brand New Man would be a fitting song for Natsume. So I was raised on 90s country, so I begrudgingly know the words to nearly 80% of all the songs. So, oh man, that's actually, I'm going to be thinking of Natsume with a cowboy hat on all day long now. Oh, are there getting more yokai as we go? Maybe not. Maybe I didn't notice that one with the little flames coming out of his hat earlier. That's interesting. Huh. How about that? My dogs are being particularly needy at my feet, so we're just going to have to hold off on them. Aw, Shigure with his fashion. I tell y'all. Maybe it's me in my 30s, but I'm like, he can get it. Oh, is this Tanuma's house? I just finished March Comes In Like a Lion. What? They just explained more about shogi in one sentence than I got from March Comes In Like a Lion. I'm joking, but not really. Ah! The pond. Yeah. The other side of the glass. Ooh. Oh, I love that they're playing shogi. This is so fun. Oh, Natsume being a little cheeky. Man, and from all the lessons he's learned from Tanuma. Mmm. Oh. Look at that. Oh. 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 Oh, he coached him all right. I thought that Nishimura was making an open invitation there. Man, there is a festival all the time in this world, and I'm not above it. Also, Tanuma's jacket looks so good. Omibashira? They've lost track of which festival it is. Oh, that's so cute. Oh. Oh, man. Oh, I love that little, like, Man, their relationship dynamics. Oh, what's been revived? Ooh. Ooh, is it a yokai or is it a human? Oh. Oh. Oh, well, damn it. Everybody's trying to kidnap Natsume. Please stop. Oh. Where was Tanuma? And dropped his damn corn. Oh. Ooh. He knows, but they don't. Oh, dang it. And oh no. Oh, that little thank you was adorable. Man, the dichotomy of that, of them knowing but the others not. Oh. Don't say it could all disappear, Natsume. Don't be that way. Yeah, where's Madara? Oh! Why? Should you touch it then? Oh no. Oh my god. Ooh. Madara. Oh my god, he's in the jar. Oh my god, he's in the jar. He's like Alice in Wonderland. His secret booze stash! Oh my god. Oh my god. Natsume Saki! No! Oh no! Oh, damn it. Oh, well, that's... Oh, shit! Oh. Oh my god! No! How'd you get that big rock? Oh. Oh my god. I mean... Oh, shit. Oh my god. Oh my god! Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, what's he gonna do? Oh my god. Are you gonna stop time? Oh, because he can be like Reiko, so why are we surprised? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. And it's not Kamiya's voice. It's his voice. Oh my god! Oh my god. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god! That is a big ass beer. That is a big ass beer! No! Oh my god. No! Oh no, 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 no! No! Shigure's like, I'm gonna drink this whole 40 right now. Oh. Oh no. Hmm. Oh my god. Ah! That's amazing. Like, I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. Yeah. Shut up. Oh. Ah. I was gonna say, how is he still breathing? So you're not gonna... You're just eating everything because you're a glutton. Do you? Interesting. Oh. I was like, is Madara gonna watch it? Oh, it was them, yeah. Oh! Ah, for the one the festival is after. Oh, shit! Oh my god. Oh, look how cute he looks. Huh. Which mountain? Oh my god. He doesn't know. Oh. Wow. Madara is easily manipulated with food. Oh my god. He looks... Oh my god! Stop! Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Madara as Natsume looking like a delinquent. I can't. Be nice. Be nice, please. Oh, look. It's Susanoo that doesn't exist. Oh, the hand on the hip. No. He's like, what? Oh my god. Natsume being such a delinquent. Tone it down. Ah! Ah! That's terrifying! Oh my god. Oh no! Oh my god. Be nice. No! No! I love the hand on the hip. Calm down. Okay. Oh my god. Oh no. Susanoo, you say? Must be somebody different in the manga. You know, she's the one that tried to get you. Oh, her. Oh my god! Oh, her! Oh my god, no! Oh my god. Ah! Oh my god. Oh my god. Politely. Oh my god, gently. No! No! Oh my god. Oh my god. Man, the rumors that are gonna go around about Natsume. Oh my god, what this looks like! Please stop! Oh my god. Oh my god, Madara! What? Ah! No! No! Oh no! Oh my god! Oh no! Okay. Oh my god! Probably. Oh, that's one of the flyers. Oh, that's the revival. Oh. Well, then what about me? Okay, the guy, Onizaru, is the guy with the mask. Oh. Well. Oh, come on. Oh, come on now. Oh. Oh, you're such a tease, Madara. Madara, how dare you? Madara, that's so mean. No. Uh-huh. Correct. Oh, be nice. Oh my god. Oh my god. You middle-aged cat! I mean, true, but... Oh my god. At least Tanuma knows. No, don't roll him! No, no, don't! Aww. He looks really pissed right now! You were just rolling him on the ground! Oh. 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 Right. Oh. Right. That something bad will happen to them. Ah! Wow, Tanuma's gonna get to help him. Shit. Oh, shit. Oh, no. Oh, sweetheart. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Damn it. Oh, shit. No. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, Tanuma, sweetheart. Oh. 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 Well, I thought it was going to be the shrine. Oh. He can see them. What? 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 Oh my god. No, we're going to dive right into the next one. Hold on. What is happening? I have got to know. And we don't have time to wait and until we start the next episode. We're just gonna dive right in. We're gonna skip the OP. We're gonna dive straight in. Oh my god. We're definitely gonna talk about the whole thing as a whole when we get done, but we're gonna start the next episode, episode 7, 3, 2, 1. Oh, oh my god. Yeah, how can you see yokai? Is it Natori? Has Natori made this? Like, is he the one that's under the mask? Oh. 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 Oh my god. Well, then who's... Oh no. I don't think that's a yokai. I think that's Natori, but I can't recognize the voice. That crazy house. It looks so Western. What about Madara? Oh, there he is. Okay. Ah! The gap between humans and yokai. Ooh. What is this, monster? Oh my god. Oh no! This feels like Alice in Wonderland. Oh no. Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, they know who you are. Wow. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, that's so creepy. Oh, Tanuma! Oh my god, of course Madara would. Uh-oh. Oh. Go get him, Tanuma! Tanuma, you're so brave being able to see them all. Oh, Tanuma. Oh. Let him out of the bottle. Yes, let him out of the bottle. Shit, no. Oh my god. Oh, 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 oh. Ah! Yes. Oh. Oh shit, no. Oh. Oh, oh, hi. Natori! It has to be Natori! Oh my god! Madara, are you freaking kidding me? You had time to go get a snack? You bastard. You must really not be concerned. Ah! Oh, oh, oh! What is happening? Oh, the face! The face! It is! It's Natori, isn't it? Oh. Right, but... Oh. 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 Of course he is. With the music! With the music! Uh-huh. Oh my god, that's his face! Shut up. Oh my god. Now's not the time! I never thought these characters would meet like this. Oh. Well, yes, it's a long story. Oh. 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 Yeah. Oh. Oh. Uh. Is it Madara? Taki! Hi! Oh, no, it's Madara! Oh, of course, I thought it was Taki at first, but it is, yeah. In my beautiful form! Oh. Uh-huh. Oh. Mm. Ooh. Shit! Who knows? Oh. 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 Oh, interesting. Huh. Oh. No, don't run off. Right. Oh. Be blunt. Be blunt. Yes, tell him that. Mm. Ah! Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Oh, shit. Well, no, this is not good. Oh. Oh. Well, shit. Oh. Well, that's terrifying. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh! What? Oh, ew, no, that we saw that earlier when it was out in the hallway. Okay. It's like The Shining. Yeah, this is what he deals with all the time. Oh my God, the ship could not be stronger for Tanuma and Natsume right now. I can't believe they're meeting Natori too. This is just mind-blowing. Okay, leave Madara with Tanuma. Good idea. Mm-hmm. Oh my God. Oh. Mm. Shut up. Shut up. Creepy. Creepy. Natsume's like, yes, we know. Oh. Oh. Yeah. No, he hadn't. It's because he's his friend. Well, ah. Mm, right. And people too. Oh, don't get too involved. Oh, shit. Shit. No, absolutely. That's exactly right. Yes. Exactly. Yes. Oh my God. I was going to say, this is probably the goriest episode of Natsume we've had. No, he was terrified. Good on you, Madara. Shit, no, bad time for headache. No, keep up with Madara. Don't go that way. No, Madara, Tanuma, what are you doing? Oh, shit. Oh. Oh my God. Oh. Everybody keeps wandering off. Right. Oh. 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 Oh, Natsume. Oh, Natsume. Oh. 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 Oh my gosh. Like, Natsume, you can't run away, sweetheart. Ah! Ah! Oh my God! Oh shit! But why? Oh no! Oh my God! Just grabbed him! Ah! No! Oh no! Oh! Oh wow! Put him in the pot! here. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. There we go, Madara. Oh my God. Madara. Oh, Madara. I love you, you fat cat. Oh. Okay, good. Okay. She's like, good, bye. Have a talk, you two. Come on. Oh, stop. This is just too much. Oh. 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 Oh my God, just talk, boys. Oh. Oh. Mm-hmm. Ah, there we go. Oh, I wanted them to talk. Oh. I wanted them to talk. Oh, damn it. We're gonna eat that gratin. Oh my God. I wasn't prepared. I was not prepared for this episode set. I just wasn't prepared. I just wasn't prepared. I just wasn't prepared. I was not ready, y'all, for this episode set. Your girl was not ready for this. I was not ready for season 4. I'm not ready for season 4. I wasn't ready for this at all. Damn. Ugh. This show's so good, and this episode set was so good. Y'all, I cannot describe to you how wonderful it was. So there's that. And all of them together. Look at Tanuma and him outside talking. Looking like boyfriends. Look at them. Look at them standing out there looking like boyfriends. Oh my god. Shut the frick up. I was not ready for this episode set. I had to go and refill my drink because this episode set was crazy and is maybe my new favorite in this season, in the series. Oh my god. Season 4 ain't playing, y'all. Season 4 is not playing. Not one bit. Man! I had to bring Whiteboard Coon out because I wanted to kind of break down a couple of things that I was thinking about throughout this episode set, but this episode was like the goriest this show has been so far, and getting into a lot more of adult themes, and thank God for Tanuma. Am I right? Thank God for Tanuma, because honestly, Tanuma was a big saving grace in this episode, and I know this series, the way that it tackles how Natsume feels about Tanuma and the others getting involved, and how Natori addresses it, and how Madara addresses it, and just all of it, I was so overwhelmed by the emotions in this episode. I'm like, am I going to cry for this episode set? Really? And I usually, before the year of 2024 was the year of tears for Romania. The year of tears, where I just cried at everything. I was like, am I just being hormonal in my mid-30s? Is that what's happening? Probably tied to it. But I usually am not like emotionally swayed by things. And I feel like I have very specific triggers that get me to cry, like certain things a character does, like the process of losing a loved one due to age is a big existential trigger for me. So like it will get me worked up and emotional like nothing, right? But usually other stuff I'm like, oh, I can tough it out. And this episode I was like, whoa, all right then. So I had to go immediately through one episode into the other. I could not stop. I was like, nope, we've got to just, they hooked line. Thank God y'all told me to watch these two back to back, because they were hook, line, and sinker right off the bat. So I joked in the reaction that I learned more about shogi in this one line from Tanuma about focusing on the rook than I did all of March Comes In Like a Lion. That is a lie. That is a hyperbole. I learned much more from March Comes In Like a Lion. I find it very interesting that I just ended March Comes In Like a Lion, which, by the way, if you've not watched March Comes In Like a Lion, here's my shameless plug. Go watch that series. If you like Natsume's Book of Friends, you will like March Comes In Like a Lion. It's so good. Rei and Natsume they would be great friends if they were in the same series. But yeah, I like that shogi's focused on a lot in this episode. It just felt like a weird coincidence with me finishing one show that was primarily about shogi and diving into this one next. What a crazy world in the zeitgeist. But yeah, the idea that Tanuma has been helping Natsume. So we're going to put Natsume right up here. And this first episode was called The Other Side of the Glass, right? And which I think The Other Side of the Glass and The Gap Between Humans and Yokai are very fitting episode titles for this. But basically we have the idea of Natsume and what, I guess I'll put Tanuma beside him here, like right over here, so y'all can see what Tanuma is over here doing. These two, I know that I've said that I would ship older Natsume with older Natori. Like I once they're adults, I'm fine with that. And I stand by that ship, but it's going to be real hard to beat the Tanuma and Natsume ship for me. It's going to be real hard to beat it for me because Tanuma is so kind and patient. And he does so much for Natsume that I'm like, no, I'm kind of all here for it. And then the series tried to straight bait us, and we're going to talk about that. I was like, haha, you're fooling no one. I know your secrets. So we're going to talk about that when we get to it. But Tanuma is basically, he has helped Natsume with his shogi skills to get on par. He's been coaching him in shogi, which is kind of fun because then what ends up happening is that he plays the classmates there. Now, of course, there is this constant, like, whenever Tanuma looks over and sees Natsume, Natsume's looking off at the yokai, and it's something that Tanuma is not able to see, which is really sad. So Tanuma does have this. The thing about Tanuma that's so sweet is, much like Natsume, he's just this pure soul, and he's such a sweetheart. And he doesn't ever feel like envious or jealous of Natsume. I think he just feels sad that he can't be a part of that world. So there is a sense that Tanuma, he wants to be a part of Natsume's world with the yokai because he wants to be able to be there for him. He wants to be there for Natsume, and this is important, and make him happy. Which to me just sells the ship right there. He wants to make Natsume happy. He wants to help him, make him feel like a better person. He knows that Natsume gets lonely and feels isolated, and he wants to help Natsume get through that. And I'm like, just, what more do you want, right? But I love that it's mainly he wants to see the yokai, not for himself, but to make Natsume feel better. And so then, yeah, I love Kishimoto losing to Natsume, and then Nishimura teasing him. Nishimura being such a tease. Nishimura has gained a little bit more characteristics as we've gone throughout this series, where he's a little like, I have this like yaoi headcanon in my mind where Nishimura, he kind of likes it rough. Especially when Madara as Natsume drags him away, he's like, okay, I'm kind of into this. I was like, oh, you're kind of a masochist, Nishimura, but that's all just in my head. That's my BL fangirling. But seeing Natsume, be kind of like smug about winning at shogi was really sweet. It just shows, I love the idea that Natsume, he is trying his hardest to integrate into a normal lifestyle. And he's trying to have the best he can of both worlds, being able to interact with the yokai, but also interact with the humans. And if it weren't for them pesky, overpowered yokai and exorcists, we might get away with it too. But I feel for Natsume. I know he just wants to have as normal a life as he can, right? Also, I just love the idea of Nishimura holding it over Kishimoto's head about him losing and everything. Like, again, maybe a little bit of a masochist, who knows? Then Tanuma shows up in this bitchin' ass jacket, which I love absolutely. And they're like, oh, you were coached by Tanuma? What? And he's like, oh, maybe just a little bit. And they're like, Kishimoto's going to treat us because he lost. So they end up going to this festival. Now, again, I don't know. I'm going to be interested to see the manga for this chapter set specifically, because they have this other festival. I love that they forget there's so many festivals they've been to, they can't keep track of everything. But they know this was Omibashira. It has to do with the mountains. And they get the 2 ears of corn. I like the two ship dynamics that go on in this scene. There is Tanuma and Natsume. Natsume splits the corn husk and he's like, here's your coaching fee. Little wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Super cute moment. And then, of course, there's Kishimoto eating the whole thing of corn himself. And Nishimura being like, well, aren't you going to share some Kishimoto? Like, I love it. And he's like, go buy your own. I love it. It's great. But then, of course, Natsume can't have nice things because he gets reminded about these voices from the yokai talking about their master getting revived. I like how the flyers were to lure in the weaker yokai, and we find that out as we go. Also, one of the craziest world building moments in this entire series is the fact that as long as you put on a mask that has a talisman drawn on it, they think you're yokai. Because a lot of them are pretty humanoid. So I think that's always such a crazy world building thing. If they just put a paper bag over their heads, we're fine. But yeah, I wanted to point out that there is this dynamic. So right now, we have Tanuma and Taki. I guess we should make it like a little timeline of the degrees in which people know about Natsume's quote unquote abilities. There is a scale that this goes on. And we could say that at the very end of the scale, way over here, if we're really thinking about it, way over here on the end of the scale is going to be like the general public. The general public have no clue about Natsume. Whatever. Then way over here, you would have Madara. And I would say Matoba. And I would say Natori. And I would say the yokai. Like, they all know Natsume's abilities fairly well, right? General public, no. All these guys over here, yes. So then you have, like, to varying degrees where everybody else falls. So I would say over here, you would have, like, Sasada. Especially since she's not actually in the series. She's not even in the manga. She's moved far away. But yeah, I'd put Sasada there. And then I would put over here Kishimoto. And, well, I'm going to put it this way. I would put over here, in my opinion, I would put Kishimoto and Nijimura. Or Nishimura. I'm getting my Kuroko's basketball characters confused. But I put Nishimura and Kishimoto here. I think they kind of know something's up, but they don't know exactly know what, and they don't know what to do about it, so they just kind of like ignore it, and they're like, but they have gotten mad before at Natsume for not considering, coming to them for help. Then I would put the Fujiwaras over here. Do they really know what's up with him? Not that we know of, but do I think they kind of think something's up? Yeah, especially after that episode in season 3, episode 11 or 12, one of those episodes towards the end of the series. In season 3, we talked about in the comments how some of them probably thought Natsume might have had ideations, like suicidal ideations, and that's why the Fujiwaras are concerned. But I do wonder if maybe they know a little bit more than they're letting on, and because they don't want Natsume to get freaked out. So I think they know a little bit more than Kishimoto and Nishimura, but we're going to put them there. That they're there. Okay. And then on the side over here, you have Taki, who is there, and I would put Tanuma. Tanuma's getting closer and closer to this side, where he knows more and more and more. Taki, what's ironic is that Taki, I don't think, knows as much about the yokai world, but she has better access to finding out about the yokai world. And Tanuma knows more about the yokai world, but can't see the yokai. So it's kind of like, if you just fused Taki and Tanuma together, you'd have the perfect ship companion for Natsume. But I think Tanuma's fine on his own. But anyway, the moment where Tanuma instantly figured out that something had gone on with the yokai, and that's why Natsume was being the way that he was being. And Nishimoto and Kishimoto and Nishimura were like, you guys know something, but we don't. What's up? And they didn't question it, but I feel like at some point, Tanuma and Natsume are going to forever be in their own world, and the two other classmates will never know, or they're going to find out eventually, and then do with what they will. So we'll see. But yeah. And so then we have Natsume saying, as they walk away, Tanuma's like, it's nothing. And Tanuma, to his credit, he never wants Natsume to feel uncomfortable. He's just like, oh, no, it's fine. He goes along with it. And Natsume says, warm, fun days. That means that lately, the littlest thing makes it seem like it could all disappear. So it feels like, like a cold snap about to come through, taking those warm days away from him. But Natsume, the closer he's been establishing the last couple seasons, that the closer he is with the people around him and the more he's enjoying his life, the more he fears that all of that will be taken away. And that's such a mindset of somebody that's gone through depression because it's like, you shouldn't feel that way, but you do. And it's like, what can you do about that? So then we have him getting stuck in the bottle, which is very classic Alice in Wonderland. The fact that Madara had spare sake in the closet. He has his closet booze. Madara, how could you? And then it's like, well, how does he get out of there? Also the fact of where that boulder came from. Although I feel like the boulder was just hyperbole. He wasn't really going to crush the jar, but I'm like, really? And so it makes sense that nobody else around can see Natsume or hear him as long as he's in the jar because it's from yokai. But the good news is that he's not going to suffocate to death because it's magic, and the fact that there are no holes doesn't mean he's going to have oxygen deprivation. I thought for a split second that Madara was going to stop time or put the Fujiwaras to sleep or do something to alter the state to give them time to go find the yokai and undo the spell. But no, the very obvious solution was that Madara will just become Natsume and imitate him. I think that it's interesting that the only two people that he can imitate are Natsume, which makes sense. He's been around Natsume for how long now? He's watched him so much that it makes sense he can imprint on that pattern. The other person is Reiko. Now, we make what we will. We don't know how long Madara has been around Reiko. We don't know what that situation is, what that backstory is, but it says something to me that he can imitate her above all other humans, even after all this time. That makes a difference to me, and I feel like eventually we're going to go into that backstory, but not today. But Madara as Natsume was just so funny, but so secondhand embarrassment. It was like watching Shoyo break into a training camp. It was just like from Haikyuu. It was just like, oh no. It's like, don't do this. I was like, because poor Natsume is so polite and kind and considerate in all facets of his school life, and Madara's just like, whatever. Also, Madara looks so mad when he's Natsume. He's just like, he makes him look like a delinquent, which is great. And poor Natsume's like, please God, help me. I felt so bad when he was eating the dinner. You would think Toko and Shigure kind of knew something was up, but I feel like I feel like also what helps Natsume in that moment is that he is possibly going through puberty. And so maybe Shigure is like, look, he's going through puberty, Toko. He's going to be moody sometimes and act a little different than normal. And she's like, okay. Also, damn, get that 40 out for Shigure. Get him that giant ass bottle of beer. He is tipping it up tonight. I joke, but damn. And then, of course, Madara just making a scene and asking for seconds and like clipping his words and not being formal. It's insane. He also grabbed the top of the bowl like Levi in Attack on Titan grabs his teacups, which is funny because Natsume's voice actor is Levi from Attack on Titan. So I thought that was a cool little moment there. But so Toko and Shigure, unfortunately, are helping out with a funeral. Sad days. But that means that it buys them a little time to help Natsume get back into his body. I like the Madara, what made me feel like Natsume in the bottle was not an immediate problem was one, the moment that Madara started talking about what Natsume needed. And it's like, oh, well, if he's not feeling hungry or deprived of oxygen, he's probably fine in the bottle. But two, when Madara was like, his only worry was about the potatoes. My throat is dry. His worry was just about the potatoes. And it's like, oh, well, if Madara was deeply concerned about Natsume's well-being within the bottle, he would have been more anxious. But the fact that he was kind of okay with them taking their time showed me that it wasn't too pressing. Although the Omi Bashira was quite terrifying as a yokai to deal with. So yeah, then these guys try to get him back, and the one guys come in and Madara scares them away, and then they're like, we're just gonna have to get some more information the next day at school. Oh my god, I love when Madara's like, hey, I'm like, no, that is absolutely not how yet Natsume is. Oh my god. Thank goodness Tanuma figures it out though. Thank goodness, because the one benefit is that Tanuma is able to help cover for Natsume. Tanuma is a great buffer. Because if Natsume, like this whole thing at school, which we'll talk about the Sasada thing, the whole thing with Nishimura and Kishimoto at school, Tanuma can help cover for him and be like, oh man, remember when Natsume was like sick or something and acting totally weird? But yeah, he can help cover and kind of smooth things over between them. I also love how Madara says that all the people wear the same outfits and look the same. And I'm like, a lot of the yokai kind of look the same, which is funny. But then he calls Nishimura over. Again, Nishimura getting called over to Natsume and kind of being okay with all of this. I'm like, dude, have you not realized a secret kink that you have, sir, that will come out later on in your formative years? But yeah, I like that. One thing that I do kind of like is that they don't treat Natsume as weird for being so forward when it's Madara being him. And I feel like maybe they're just kind of excited that Natsume's come out of his shell so much that he's talking to them so forwardly. Now, that may all backtrack when Natsume apologizes 1,000 times to them. But anyway, so he says there's a girl that knows about the Oma Shibira, and it's Sasada. Now, do I think in the manga that this whole scene with Sasada actually happens? No. Because in the manga, as we established back in season 2, Sasada moved away. She's gone. She's no longer in the manga. They are just keeping her in this anime as a plot convenience to pad out episodes if they need extra fluff time. Because it was funny him looking all over the place for her and going around in circles, but I swear this series totally straight baited us by putting Madara up next to Sasada and being like, you smell delicious. And she's like, what? Now, Could it be in the manga that there's another girl that knows about the mountain and Madara, as Natsume says this to a random girl? That's almost worse, but it could very well be. But I was like, one, Natsume would not flirt with a girl like this, which is funny because it's Madara. Hilarious. But also, what a weird fake out with the confession scene and him being like, you smell delicious. And Natsume's like, well, I'm dead. I'm dead. I'm never getting out of this. If I go back to normal tomorrow, I have so much explaining to do. Thank God Tanuma knows, because he can help him figure it out, right? So they find the flyers again and realize that there is probably a shrine or something in the mountains. And that's when Tanuma comes up to confront Natsume based on what Kishimoto and Nishimura have told him. And the thing about it is, Natsume wants to protect everybody around him. He wants to keep everybody at arm's length from him at times because he doesn't want to involve them in the world of the yokai, which is understandable because some of these yokai are terrifying and could kill you. And he's like, I don't want to put anybody I care about in jeopardy. At least in Natsume's case, he knows he can beat up the yokai. Like, he grabbed Omishibara like by the hem and was going to beat him up. And I'm like, okay, no, fair. But Natsume wants to have this distance as a form of protection for not only his friends and family, but also himself. And we'll come back to that in episode 7. But yeah, but I mean, kudos to Tanuma, who was like, hey, what is going on? And honestly, here's the thing. If Tanuma hadn't been around, if Tanuma hadn't shown up for this entire mission, how would they have won? How would they have gotten Natsume out of the bottle? I guess Natori would have gotten him out of the bottle, essentially. You could say, you could go down the what if rabbit hole and say Natori would have gotten him out eventually, or that Madara would have done something. You could say that it could have worked out, but I feel like Tanuma getting involved was a big factor in helping and is important going forward, but Natsume doesn't view it that way. And respect to Madara for trying to initially just ignore him. And he's like, what's in the bottle? But Madara can't risk. He can't resist. Madara can't resist being a little bit of a tease and being like, oh, wouldn't you like to know? Because Madara knows that Tanuma can see him as a yokai and he wants to get him involved. I'm like, oh. And Natsume's like, Madara, what are we doing? Madara just can't help being a little bit sneaky. And seeing Natsume with like the evil smile and the evil eyes, it makes me think of like an evil alternate universe where Natsume becomes an exorcist and just goes off the deep end and isolates himself away from everyone. Don't do that, show. But it just made me think of that. And I love that Tanuma knows him enough to know that it's not really Natsume. And that's when he finds out that it's Madara. Also, I can't imagine how pissed Natsume would be with Madara rolling him on the ground in the bottle. He's like, oh, Natsume's pissed at me. I can't imagine why. He looks really pissed right now. I'm sure I don't need to tell you why. And Tanuma's like, I can't hear what he's saying right now, but I want to help him. It's up to me whether I help him or not. And he's like, Natsume would do the same if it happened to me. Which is not wrong. Natsume would totally jump in and save Tanuma. 100%. Tanuma is absolutely right about that. But Natsume doesn't want to involve Tanuma because Tanuma doesn't have any powers to see yokai and he can't protect himself if the yokai attack him. He's like, if you want to complain, you can do it when you get out of the bottle. And that's when Natsume says, the more people care about me, the more scared I get, because, you know, Natsume's grown up his entire life without people caring for him. And now that he has it, he wants to covet it and keep it so close to him. And so the idea, but you can't do that. You can't smother something like that. You've got to let it breathe. And part of letting it breathe is accepting that people have free will and they can help you if they want to help you. And you can turn them away, but not everything is up for you to decide. And Tanuma's like, if you want to bitch about it tomorrow when you're out of the bottle. He's like, I'm scared someday something terrible will happen. And after the encounter with Matoba in this episode, I don't blame it. I don't blame him. So yeah, what do? We have to capture the bottle's owner. And then they're like, well, what ends up happening is Natsume gets taken by them after he gets knocked out. And so Tanuma finds the shrine going up to the house that's the trap to lure all the yokai there. And the moment I mean, I loved the kind of Spirited Away vibe that this scene had and how Tanuma like could see the yokai. I thought that was so cool. But the moment he turns around and there is a guy standing there with blonde hair peeking out from under his little hat, I'm like, that's Natori. If this series wants to convince me that it's not Natori, then they gonna have to work to make sure I don't see that blonde hair, because if I see blonde hair in a mask, I'm gonna think it's Natori instantly. But anyway, so then we have this episode, which is episode 7. And we have Natori meeting Tanuma. And he says, what a strange human. And so he's like, to wander into the world of the yokai. He's like, is that why I can see them? Because I'm in their world. And Natori's like, yeah, I'll let you go. He's like, get going. He's like, you're not safe here. Which, good for Natori. Good for Natori looking out for Tanuma and being like, hey, you need to go. This is not a place for you. And of course, I'm sure Natori was kind of like, do you know Natsume? Because you mentioned your friend. And he was like, oh, your friend? And he's like, oh, I probably shouldn't say anything. I mean, good on Tanuma for not saying anything and both of them being smart. But he's like, you shouldn't wander outside your territory. And then that's when Tanuma says, I guess some yokai are nice. And Natori says, I wouldn't know about that. Woo! Because he's not a yokai. He's like, I don't know about them all being nice. Or some of them being nice. Which I'm like, bullshit. You have Hiragi with you. Come on now. But yeah. So Tanuma basically gets to finally meet Natori. Which I did not think that was happening for a very long time. If at all. So I was instantly like, oh my god. I instantly want the trio of Natori and Tanuma and Natsume. Like, them as a trio is so intriguing. I'm like, I guess Tanuma can't become an exorcist because he can't see yokai unless he gets like special glasses or something, which we shall see. But they're like, that's where he was taken and I have to sneak in. I'm like, I love that Tanuma instantly looks around trying to figure out what to do. And then runs into Madara, who's like, where the fudge were you? So the episode's called The Gap Between Humans and Yokai, which the gap can be quite big between them in terms of power and in terms of understanding. But what a strange episode. Like, putting all of these together as a trap and luring all... This felt like Monster. If you've not seen the anime Monster, go watch it. It's long, but worth it. But this felt like gathering all the people together to kill them. Like, it felt very, very, very sinister. And there was such a sinister vibe here. And not only that, but like the idea of the yokai getting killed by the other yokai, like, that was terrifying. And also, to go with the sinister feeling, all of these yokai pushing their heads up against the jar, being like, oh, look, there's Natsume. Like, some of them probably know who he is from the rumors that's been spread about the area, and also from Reiko. So it was such an eerie scene. It definitely had like a horror element, especially the way the one gray yokai, the way his voice sounded, was pretty terrifying. But yeah, they're like, let me see him. And poor Natsume, like, holding his head in his hands and trying to like hide himself. And then Tanuma shows up to outsmart with the bottle. And he would have gotten away with it too if he didn't smell like a human. But anyway, here's the thing. Madara has full confidence in Tanuma. Madara has confidence in him. Madara is like, hey, which, to be fair, it's no skin off Madara with Madara's back. Madara is not dedicated to making sure Tanuma's okay, but Madara knows... I feel like Madara knows, one, that Tanuma is important to Natsume, and that Natsume would be really unhappy if something bad happened to him, so he wouldn't put Tanuma in direct danger, which is still a sketchy situation because you don't know how things can go down, and Madara was taking a gamble, but also I feel like Madara knows that Natsume needs somebody like Tanuma in his life, and it's not a bad idea to let people get involved if they want to be involved. But again, Madara is also coming from a yokai perspective, so I love when he says, go get him, Tanuma. That was really, really super cute. Tanuma is so brave. To walk into that room with a bunch of monsters, with a bunch of spirits that you just saw for the first time, and to get your boyfriend out of his bottle, like... Also, the 3 carrots and the 3 eggplants up on the thing there. It's like, I told you to show your face. And then I love that that's how he got him out of the jar. I can't wait. I cannot wait to see this in the manga. I cannot wait to see this in the manga. And then Natori saying, you're a pain to watch over. You know that? Ah! I love that Natori has become this guardian angel. He's become this guardian angel for Natsume. Like, Natori, seriously. Oh my god. But then he uses the smoke bomb and, like, Team Rocket, they blast away. Also, Madara, that cheeky little bastard, he had time to go find sake and a squid. So nonplussed about the entire situation. But yeah. And then, okay, so we saw the two yokai. Okay, the two yokai that we're looking for and that Madara ran into. We see Omibashira come out from the wall to attack them before we cut back to the room that all three of them are in. Okay, that all adds up now. And he's like, I told you to stay away. Now, to be fair, Natori did tell Tanuma to stay away. The moment he starts talking, I love that the moment that Natori looks up and sees and hears Natori talking, he's just like, I love his face instantly falls. Again, it's like everyone's reaction to Excalibur and Soul Eater just... I love it. Where he's like, oh, you're here. Of course you're here. And Tanuma's like, well, it's fine, Natsume. This yokai helped me. And I was about to come into the mansion. And Natsume's like, that's no yokai. He's like, what are you doing here? And Natori's like, well, I would rather not say, but it's obvious he's there to seal up Omibashira, right? But then he says, we'll get into another fight if I tell you. I'm like, Natori, you cannot flirt like that. You cannot throw them lines out there and be like, well, I tell you why I'm here, but are you going to fight me if I do? I'm like, stop it. Stop it. And he's like, well, my line is, why are you here? And then Tanuma's like, what's going on? Can I be a third party? And like, he's just a normal kid. And I like that Natori kind of gets on to Natsume being like, you shouldn't have brought a normal kid here. Like, it's dangerous. And Natsume's like, I know. I didn't want him to come. And that's when Tanuma's like, now hold on. Don't be putting words in his mouth. I came here on my own. So it just, these three and their dynamic. Oh my God. And he's like, it's fine. He's like, it's my responsibility. I was careless and got trapped in that bottle. And he's like, so you didn't have to. And then that's when Natori's like, you're starting to learn how dangerous it can be when you spend too much time with yokai and they learn your name. So Tanuma's whole thing is about Natsume, or Natori's whole thing about Natsume is the dangers of the yokai knowing him. Because, yeah, that was one of the things, the yokai, the Onizaku, they wanted Natsume at the beginning because they heard his name and they're like, oh, you're that not Natsume, and they wanted him. Which I'm like, what's interesting is that from the beginning of this series, I get what Natori is saying, like how dangerous it is to let the yokai know your name. But from the beginning of this series, most of the yokai knew Natsume's name because he's Reiko's grandson. And there's nothing Natsume can do about that. So even though Natsume has, to be fair, made friends with the yokai and shared his name and all that, and we've seen that the last several episodes, at the heart of the matter, you could say that a lot of this isn't necessarily Natsume's fault because they came after him thinking he was Reiko. So it's kind of, it's more complicated than I think Natori gives it credit as being. And then when Tanuma's like, who are you? And then he whips off that hat and goes, I'm Natori Shuichi. And he's like, I work as a yokai exorcist as a second job. And Tanuma's like, an exorcist? And he's like, haven't I seen you somewhere before? And he's like, and the moment that Natori's like, oh, my other job is an actor. And Natsume looks so aggravated. He looks like when Madara possesses him, he's like, please stop. And all the sparkles, I love it. He's like, I'm going to be in a movie soon, so I can get you tickets. And Natsume's like, shut up. This is not the time or place for this discussion. We got to get out of here first. And then Iragi and them show up. Again, Tanuma is such a real one for just not batting an eye and being like, oh, there's yokai. Like, for Tanuma going from not being able to see yokai at all to seeing all of these yokai and getting to experience this world head on is so crazy. And that's kind of one of the things is that Tanuma, he gets to see firsthand Natsume's world. Now, is the adventures as such as this Natsume's day-to-day? No. I feel like the stuff with Matoba and the Natori episodes they're not the majority right now. They're not the norm necessarily. But my one question is, I wonder if Tanuma will think that all of Natsume's adventures are to the extreme as this one, which will be interesting moving forward. I don't know how I feel about the possibility that they will be. So Natori's like, to get him a kimono and a mask and we can go. Haragi and Natsume have a very interesting relationship where she seems pretty in tune if something's wrong with him. She's like, you look pale. What's up with you? And Natsume is like, oh, I'm worried about my friend. And they're like, who is this? And that's when Natori's like, I want to know your name. And Natsume's like, oh, well, no. And he's like, oh, don't worry. He's like, I'm not going to try to recruit somebody that doesn't have abilities to be an exorcist and see yokai. And he's like, Tanuma. My name is Tanuma Kaname. And he's like, oh, Tanuma-kun, nice to meet you. And Natsume's like, Tanuma's getting more and more drawn into this world. Like, he feels bad because he thinks that he's like, it's my fault. He thinks that it's a problem because he doesn't want Tanuma to get hurt. So then we have Madara come out, being in his beautiful form, which looks like Reiko. I love the cat mask. It's great. He's like, I'm a noble yokai. So unfortunately, though, they're like, well, why did you take that form in specifically as a woman? And he's like, well, the only humans I've ever gotten a good look at are Natsume and Reiko. No matter what I do, I end up looking like one of them. And I'm like, well, is it because you've gotten a good look at them, or is it because they're the only two humans you care about? I think it's the only two humans that you care about, Madara, because you've seen plenty of humans over the course of this. Like, you've seen Toko and Shigure every day when you get food from them. So that's a pretty piss poor answer. You just like Reiko and you like Natsume. So that's why you always go to them. And then Tanuma's like, well, who's Reiko? And Madara is like, it's like if you speak Reiko's name in vain, you don't get to know. And I love when you turn around and you see Madara's eyes flash and they're like, who knows? Interestingly, and then we go to Madara breaking the chair leg against the window. That part was interesting because on the one hand, I don't know if it was Madara not wanting Tanuma to know about Reiko because that will just further implicate him into the world of yokai, which is not what Natsume wants, and Madara is aware of that. Or if Madara felt like Tanuma was insulting Reiko by mentioning her, and so he didn't want to say anything about it. I'm very curious. I'll be curious how the manga deals with that. But yeah, so the mansion itself and all of its like implications with the floors and everything is wild. The way that the floors were on, one window would be on the first floor, window would be on the second floor, and that you had to go back to the beginning to get out of the maze. Like, that part was really cool world building. I loved that. And they're like and then the fact that the evil spirit could incorporate itself into the very walls of the house. Insane. Insane. So Tanuma's like, well, I'll go check over here. And Natsume's like, you shouldn't be checking anywhere because you don't have any powers. You would be eaten. He's like, you need to stay here, Tanuma. And then if anything happened to you. And Tanuma's like, well, I'm here because I want to be. And Sensei was saying, it's because I wandered into the world of yokai, but I can see them just like you now, so I can help. And then, of course, Natori's like, oh, well, then the one yokai shows up. And he's like, did you see my friend? And they're like, no. And he's like, Natsume, you're shaking. Oh, this whole conversation was so good. And he's like, I'm happy you feel that way, but if you got hurt, then and that's why Natori says the world of the yokai is just that dangerous. And then they hear something. So mainly, Natsume has said out loud to where Tanuma can hear him that he does not want Tanuma hurt. And Tanuma wants Natsume to respect that he wants to help him. And meanwhile, Natori over here, Natori is saying that the yokai world is dangerous and anybody that gets involved is taking a gamble that they may put their life on the line. And we get that implicated when we see the blood. That the yokai has eaten the others. And Natori's like, I was going to seal it while it was weak, but others are getting eaten too. Yep. This is such a gory episode. I did not expect to see all the bloodshed in here. And then when they go into the one room, and then the two friggin' Onizuru or Onizero look like they're from The Shining and get them trapped in there. Crazy. And so Natsume's like, I'll get you out of here no matter what. We'll work together no matter what happens. Tanuma's like, okay. But yeah, oh my gosh, the pond, how creepy this whole place is. I love that you see the two levels of the house through the fishbowl lens where one's on the one floor and one's on the other. It's so creepy and disturbing. It feels like The Shining, a mansion on top of a hill that has a bunch of ghosts in it and they're all killing each other. Feels very Shining. But yeah, they're like, Natsume and I will look for the Omibashira and Madara and Tanuma will go together. Which at first I was like, I don't know if I feel good about that. I almost want to put Tanuma with Natori because Natori I think would be a little bit more diligent in watching Tanuma than Madara, but... And honestly, it's kind of Tanuma's fault for not staying with Madara because Madara's like, if he stays by me and doesn't get any ideas, he'll be fine. But Tanuma did get an idea and he did wander off and you could blame his headache, sure. I like the rock that Natori gives him being like, you know, the rock will protect him. And then when Madara's like, oh, well, don't you trust me? He's like, it's my policy not to force a lady to work. And he's like, ah. And Madara's like, this is a fake illusion form. Like, how dare you, sir? I'm not a maiden. He's like, oh, I got creeped out by that. I love it. Love it. Anyway, then Natori says, I guess a crazy kid gets crazy friends. And Natsume's like, that's not funny. He's like, I'm sorry about earlier because you saved Tanuma and I should have been more grateful for you instead of yelling at you. And then Tori's like, I was kind of out of line for talking the way I did. You know, you hadn't told him about the exorcists, had you? You haven't told him about anything, have you? And Natsume's like, no. And then Tori's like, well, isn't he your friend? Shouldn't he know? Or did you not tell him because he's your friend? And it's like, well, that's the answer. He didn't tell him because he's his friend. And he's like, yeah. And then, so I like that Tanuma's like, well, Natori, he might actually be pretty nice. And then what's interesting is when he says, you know, he's like, he's kind of high pressure. And at first I didn't like him very much. And then Madara says those are just habits he's picked up. The exorcist habits. That's what happens when you have lots of enemies. So Madara makes the note that Natori is the way that he is as a mode of self-preservation. That he has made himself into the person that he is as an exorcist because to save himself. And when you have a lot of enemies, you're kind of forced into that route. And he's like, do you mean yokai? And he's like, yes. When you're in that line of work, you end up with more enemies than just yokai. So Madara also suggests that it's not just the yokai that Natori fights that he has to be self-preserving against. It's people like Matoba, it's the exorcists, it's other people too. And in a way, it kind of makes sense that that's why Madara doesn't want Natsume to get so involved sometimes because he doesn't want Natsume going down the same path as Natori, even though we know that's probably not going to happen. And he's like, you shouldn't get too involved. Someone that's weak as you will be eaten quickly. And it almost feels like he shows Tanuma the scene of all of the murdered yokai to kind of drive home the point of, if you're not strong enough, this could be you. And it's so gory and scary. I was like, damn. If he's eaten this many, then he's regained a lot of his power. The seriousness of this episode set was really kind of surprising. I wasn't prepared for it to be this dark and this serious, and to see Tanuma and Madara both being like, ooh, this is not good. And at that point, that's when Tanuma says, this is something you could not tell Toko-san about. Is that why Natsume is the way that he is? And then the door closes. And he's like, what did Natsume's face look like when I said I'd help him? He's like, when I said I'd do, what did he look like inside of the bottle? I thought that he would be happy and that I'd tease him and it'd make him feel a little bit better. And that's why I helped, but... And then I like that Madara says, I don't know, ask Natsume. I'm not going to speak on his behalf. I'm not going to speak for him. So Tanuma worries that Natsume is hiding all of this to protect them because he doesn't want Toko to worry if things are like this. And now he's wondering, oh, well, is that what Natsume meant? Was Natsume mad that I tried to help him because he doesn't want me to get involved because it makes him feel, you know, like I'm in too deep? So then we have him going up against the wall, and thank goodness Natori's rock saves him, but Natsume's freaked out because this isn't what he wanted. I'm glad that Natsume didn't get mad at Madara. I thought Natsume was going to yell at Madara for a moment because they got separated. And like, we'll have to seal him. And at first, Natori asks Natsume to help him get the seal ready, but Natsume starts to spiral, and he says, this is what scared me, that this would happen someday and my friends would get hurt. And he's like, Tanuma isn't the kind of person who would come to a place like this. He's not like me. He's cautious and thoughtful. And I'm like, Natsume, you are thoughtful and cautious as well. Don't sell yourself short, sir. It's just him and his dad. And he never does anything that would worry him. And I'm like, but you do the same thing with Toko and Shigure. When he's with me, sometimes he wants to say things but holds back for my sake. And then I brought him here. So Natsume feels like he holds Tanuma back from being honest, which he kind of does, but we know why, and he knows why that is. And he's like, and then I brought him here, and I made him do all these crazy things. And he's like, what should I do? And he's like, maybe I can't stay here anymore. And when he said that, I was like, oh no, because that's been the thing. Like, is he going to run away? And so he contemplates, you know, should he leave? Should he leave these bonds that he's made because he's worried that these people are going to get hurt? And he starts to spiral. And I love the moment that Natori puts his hand over his hand. I'm like, I ship Tanuma and Natsume so much, but Natori being this guiding light here in the most like anti-hero gray angel way, where he says, no, Natsume. And I love that he takes the mask off and he's like, you're strong, Natsume. That's why you feel these things. He's like, I hated that feeling so much that I gave all that up long ago. And I don't know how to say this, but you can't abandon it. I love that he says that. He's like, you're strong, so don't quit. Don't run, and don't quit. He's like, I ran away long ago and went down this route, and I don't know any other way to do it now, and I've just accepted that. But he's like, you're not going to be me, and you don't need to go down that route either. He's like, it's going to be hard, but you need these bonds, and you need to stay with these people, and you need it. He's like, you need it. Oh. I love that. I could like give Natori the biggest kiss on the cheek, being like, that's what Natsume needed to hear. He's like, you can't run away like I did. Like, don't do that. No. You're going to have to work through it, and it's going to be hard, but it's going to be worth it. Okay. And Madara's like, and I love that Madara in his own way is like, you know, Natsume, if you don't want to do this, I'll do it for you. You know, since you just went through this existential crisis. And he's like, no, I'll do it. Honestly, once we see Omibashira, he doesn't look as scary as he had before, but still pretty terrifying. And then, of course, we get him tricked and get him sealed away in the tiny little jar, which is great. And then I love how Madara finally steps in, because at first they're like, oh, like the Onizuru are trying to like get them tricked, or yeah, what does they say there? He's like, these Onizaru were trying to trick them. But then I love that all the yokai get scared by Madara, and Madara doing the laughter, being like, now go before I eat you myself. Wahaha. I love it. Madara's so freaking cool. And then we have our BL scene of the day. I could stay atop that hill with them forever. I wanted this conversation to go on so much longer than it did. I wanted them to sit there and talk, damn it, and it didn't happen. Son of a bitch. That's what I wanted, and it didn't happen. I was pissed about it. I was like, how dare you? But Hiragi goes back to the mansion, and as soon as it felt like Little Mermaid, whenever like Ariel sits over Prince Eric's body and Prince Eric wakes up, I'm like, oh. These two. And then, yeah, Natsume thanking him. And so he's like, I escaped from the bottle, and we were able to steal Omibashira, and it's all thanks to you. And so at first, like, I do think Natsume is being honest and sincere in thanking Tanuma. But Tanuma's like, so the truth, tell me the truth. And he's like, what? He's like, my getting involved, did they make things worse for you? Did it make you suffer? And it's like, oh. He's like, I'm not good with other people. And even if there are things I want to know, I don't know how much I can ask. Like, these two introverted fools that I wanted Natsume to give him answers. I wanted him to talk to him. Also, the mansion looks a little bit different than it did now that Omibashira is not possessing it anymore. But he's like, I want to help you, but I don't know what to do. And he's like, if you don't like it, just say so. If you don't want to answer, you don't have to. I'm glad you told me that you can see yokai, but I don't want you regretting it or putting up a wall between us. And so Tanuma worries that Natsume regrets telling him about being able to see yokai, which is kind of true because Natsume's been like, I don't want him to get involved in this world and to get into this world with me. But Tanuma's like, I want to help you, but I can't help you unless you tell me more. And there has to be trust between us that everything's going to be fine. He's like, I was so happy that you told me. I was so happy you told me so it would hurt. And he's like, what should I do? He's like, I'm sorry, Tanuma. I'm sorry. Where do I go from here? And then I like that Natsume's like, I'm glad Tanuma opened up and said what he said to him, being like, I want to help you, but how can I help you if you push me away? Like, you've got to open up too. It's got to be a mutual thing. And Natsume's like, do I accept that help? Because he's like, Natori gave up on that. Natori gave up on the outside world, and he just stuck into this world of yokai and exorcists, and that's all he lives in. He ran away. And then you have Reiko, where he says the one that Reiko wanted to follow but couldn't. Like, for whatever reason, he's like, Reiko wanted to do these things, but she couldn't end up doing it in the end. And so he's like, will I be able to follow it too? Will I be able to do what my grandmother could not? I want Natsume to give him a proper answer, and I wanted that conversation to continue between them. But in the same vein, I feel like the two of them, like Natsume needs to think about his answer. So at first I was mad that they didn't carry on that conversation, but now Tanuma's put the ball into Natsume's court, being like, I want to help you. Will you let me do that? And Natsume needs to think about how he wants to answer that question before he gives a reply. And so then as they're leaving on the bridge, of course they're leaving on a bridge, Tanuma says, Natsume, will you be at school tomorrow? And he's like, yeah, I have to take my chance to complain. You told me to complain once I got out of the bottle, right? I love that kind of patches things between them, where it's like, aw. And then they goes back. And there was this moment when he walked back in the house and they weren't there, that it felt like what would happen if he came home and they weren't there at all. And there was like this kind of jolt of being scared and melancholy. But then Madara's like, let's get some gratin. He's like, we're going to eat that gratin. And he's like, you can't abandon it. It might be hard, but you need it. I love that. He's like, it's going to be difficult, you doing this all by yourself. It's going to be difficult letting other people in. It's going to be difficult having friends and trying to navigate the world with both the yokai and the humans, but it will be worth it in the end, and you need it. Also in the ED, where they all come in to visit, and Tanuma's like, is there room for me? And Natsume instead comes out and hangs out with him. Tell me you're shipping without shipping, right? Oh my God. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. 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 This episode set was so good. I want Natsume to give Tanuma his answer, but I feel like we're going to have to wait for Natsume to figure out what he wants that answer to be. But This episode set was so much darker. It was crazier. There was so much going on. And I'm just like, I'm kind of obsessed with it. So anyway, I'm super excited to hear your thoughts about this episode set down below. I've talked for nearly an hour about it. Anyway, next week we have one episode, which is episode 47, episode 8, Rule of 8. We'll see what the Rule of 8 has in store for us this season. I can't believe we're already there, but we'll see what happens next week, and I'll see you all there. So, in the meantime, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, these two lovebirds, I tell ya, we'll see what happens with them next week with Natsume's Book of Friends. Bye!